I still remember the moment I saw the email in my inbox, as if it were a punch to the solar plexus. It was a Wednesday morning, 2 weeks before Lily's due date, and I was sitting at my desk in the corner of the open plan marketing department, steam rising from my second mug of Earl Grey. The subject line read, "Regarding baby shower, please read." I clicked it, expecting some minor logistical update: date change, address, brunch buffet menu. Instead, I found these words: "Hi Jessica, I'm writing to let you know I've decided to keep the baby shower small, just family and a few close friends. I know we've drifted a bit lately, so I thought it best not to include you this time. I hope you understand. Best, Lily." My heart contracted, then shattered. Not "we can't wait to see you," not "we'd love your help planning," but "we've drifted," a polite lie that draped a dagger in my ribs. Lily and I had been inseparable since kindergarten, shared secrets in tree houses, matching friendship bracelets, midnight calls cheering each other through breakups. And now, 8 months pregnant and glowing, she'd decided I wasn't close enough. I stared at the screen for minutes, while around me the office hummed on, someone on a conference call in the next cubicle, mice clicking across keyboards, the distant whoosh of the Keurig in the break room. The teacup in my hand trembled until the last drop sloshed out. I put my head in my palms and tried to breathe. I replayed everything we'd said in the last month. There had been a conversation, harmless, or so I'd thought, about wedding registries. I asked about the shower guest list. She'd waffled. "I'll send you the list tonight," she promised, while balancing a toddler on one hip and replying to emails with the other. I'd waited, let it slide. I told myself she was busy, pregnant, exhausted. Then came the brunch invite from her cousin Bethany. "Hope you can make it," a happy emoji. No response to my RSVP. And then, the uninvitation. I pushed away from my desk and walked the hallways until I reached the bathroom, where my reflection in the mirror looked pale and stunned. My shirt, the one I'd worn for the last 5 office meetings because it reminded me of better days, was crumpled, my shoulders slumped. I texted my husband, "Me, they uninvited me." "Him? What? Me, Lily's baby shower. Him? Seriously? That's awful. Me, I feel like an idiot. Him? Come home. We'll figure it out." His words were a lifeline, but they couldn't fix the ache of betrayal. I washed my face, straightened my spine, and forced myself back to my desk, as if the day could go on for a while before grief set in again. By noon, I knew what I had to do. Sitting through everyone else's gossip about floral arrangements and diaper cake designs would be torture. Yet I couldn't simply fade away. My heart was too full of hurt and pride. Instead, I hatched a plan. If she thought I wasn't close, I'd show up anyway, with the biggest gift she'd ever seen, and a truth she couldn't ignore. I called my mom during lunch. Her voice crackled with concern. "Sweetheart, write her off. She's stressed." "It's not you." I let her talk herself out, then said gently, "I know, but I have to do this for me. I can't let her erase our friendship without a response." That afternoon, I ducked into the office supply closet and dug through my emergency chocolate stash for courage, then sprinted out to my car, tossing laptop bag and coat in the passenger seat. I drove to the craft store, where I scoured the glitter aisle for a gift box worthy of the moment. I selected a towering iridescent cylinder, for dreams that shine brightest, and lined it with blush pink tissue paper, careful not to crinkle too loudly. Next stop, the bookstore. I needed something that would jolt her memory of who I was. I remembered that as a child, Lily and I had devoured every Judy Blume novel together, but I wanted something new, a symbol of rebirth. I found a first edition of a modern memoir by an author we both admired, a pregnant woman's reflections on becoming a mother after loss. I slid it onto a gift wrapping bench and asked it be wrapped in crisp white paper stamped with gold storks. Finally, I drove to my own apartment and rifled through the top drawer of my nightstand for that leather-bound journal Gabriel, my high school boyfriend turned confidant, had given me years ago. Its pages brimmed with childhood poems, college essays, and notes from when Lily helped me proofread my first published article. I removed the journal, blew the dust off its cover, and tucked it gently into the gift box behind the memoir. My biggest gift was almost ready, but the bigger truth still needed crafting. In the back hallway of my building, a place where whispers could hide, I called Lily. Her mother answered. "Mrs. Simons," I began, voice trembling. "Jess, is everything okay?" She sounded puzzled. "I'm coming to the shower," I said. "And I have something you need to know. Please tell Lily I'll see her on Saturday, at 11. No excuses." There was a pause, then her mother said, She's not going to let you in. I'll be there anyway." I hung up. My heart thundered. Saturday at dawn, I awakened before the sun. My gift box rested on the kitchen counter, its contents secret and potent. I brewed coffee, dressed in what I decided was the perfect outfit: bright red cardigan, a nod to our shared college colors, and a simple black skirt. Not too casual, not too formal, just me. At 9, Bistri and me I pulled into the parking lot of the recreation center where the shower was held. Pastel balloons danced in the breeze, and I could hear the low hum of laughter and the clinking of plates. I glanced down at my phone. 11:02 a.m., 2 minutes late. Perfect. I parked in the farthest corner. I didn't want to be noticed sneaking in. I checked myself in the rearview mirror, hair loose around my shoulders, eyes determined. With a deep breath, I grabbed my tote bag, containing the gift box, my journal, and an envelope with printed text messages between Lily and her new baby daddy, exposing a secret only I knew, and walked toward the entrance. At the registration table, 2 co-hosts smiled, expecting to greet guests as they arrived. Jessica, one called, furrowing her brow. "You weren't invited." I smiled tightly. "Surprise. I know you have a list, but I brought the most important gift." She glanced at the towering box. "We're full inside." "Then let me in with the box, and I'll turn around," I offered. "But Lily needs to read this." I held up the envelope. A bead of sweat formed between her eyebrows. She whispered to her friend. They looked at each other. They looked at me. Finally, one stepped aside. I entered. Giggles erupted in the hall as I stepped inside, a flurry of pastel dresses, diaper cake centerpieces, and a table groaning under lavender cupcakes. All eyes turned to me, and I raised the box like a peace offering. I walked down the center aisle, setting my gift on the designated table among tiny onesies and rattle sets. The crowd stifled murmurs. She showed up. What's she done now? But before anyone could react, I stepped up to the microphone stand. "Hi everyone," I began, voice echoing against the high ceilings. "I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I have something Lily needs to hear." I reached into the gift box and pulled out the leather journal, holding it aloft. This belonged to us. It contains every letter she ever wrote about her hopes for motherhood. I thought she deserved to see how much she truly means to me. A hush fell. The audience leaned forward. I continued, "And I have another truth. Something I discovered that she decided I didn't need to know. Lily, you need to read these messages between you and David. It's time you know what's really happening in this relationship." I slipped the envelope onto the table next to the journal. Gasps. I paused, letting the tension flicker in every face: expectant mothers, nervous aunts, doting grandmothers. I said softly, "Sometimes the biggest gift we can give someone isn't a stroller or a baby monitor. It's the truth." And in that shimmering moment, as eyes glistened and whispers swelled, I realized I held more than a box of gifts. I held the power to shatter illusions and open a new chapter for the woman I once called my closest friend. But would Lily have the courage to accept it? And how many more guests would side with me once they knew the truth? I set the gift box down, the soft thud echoing in the stunned silence. All color drained from the room's pastel decor. Balloons sagged as though deflated by the weight of anticipation. I took a steadying breath and turned toward the assembled guests, catching their faces in shards of shock, empathy, curiosity. Then I looked to Lily herself, her cheeks flushed, eyes wide behind the soft curve of her maternity dress, a single bead of sweat glimmering on her temple. She'd frozen mid-rattle cake twirl, mouth slightly open, as the truth I'd laid on the table hovered between us. "Lily," I said, voice low but carrying, "I brought 2 gifts today. One is this journal." I lifted the leather volume, the one we filled with our wild dreams when we were kids. "And the other is something you need to see." I gestured to the unopened envelope. A murmur rippled outward. I held the room with an inward pulse of nerves, my palms damp, my heart a hummingbird. I met her gaze. "Open it." Her hands trembled as she took the envelope and slid its flap. She withdrew the folded pages, unfolding them with a cautious precision. Everyone edged closer: co-workers, cousins, aunts, and her mother, who pressed a hand to her heart. "Jessica," Lily whispered, voice brittle. I sat on the edge of the gift table, heart thrumming. "I'm sorry, but you deserve the truth." Her eyes flicked to mine, Then down to the printed text, the chain of midnight messages between Lily and David, her boyfriend and the baby's father. I'd printed only the key passages. Lily, 7:15, p.m. I'm home. Dinner's in the fridge. Love. Hope you're on your way. David, 7:15, 10:22 p.m. Stuck at the office. Sorry, babe. Early tomorrow. Promise. Lily, 7:16, 8:10. A baby is kicking so hard. Wish you were here. David, 7:16, 8:45. AIM can't make it. I've got drinks with team. They might see. Lily, 7:16, 11 p.m. It's late. I'm worried, David. 7:16, 11, 12 p.m. I'm with Karen. You know, my assistant? She's stressed about her divorce. Wanted a drink. Don't freak. Lily, 7:17, 2:30. AIM p.m. Oh my God. David, 7:17, 2:31. AIM p.m. I'll text you when I'm home. Sorry, I love you. A tremor ran through Lily. Her breath hitched. Her hand slipped, the page fluttered to the floor. She sank onto a folding chair, and for a moment time stopped. The hum of the HVAC, a baby's distant cry. Even the soft crinkle of her maternity dress seemed deafened by the shock. Then tears welled. She covered her mouth with her hand. I bit my lip to keep from retreating, kept my voice gentle. You asked me to stay away. I couldn't. Not when you were about to make the biggest decision of your life. Motherhood without knowing he's with someone else. Her mother rushed forward, arms open, but Lily held up a hand. Mom, she said, voice quivering. I need her right now. She looked at me, apology and need colliding. I crouched beside her and slipped an arm around her shoulders. I'm so sorry you had to learn this way, I whispered. But you're not alone. Around us, the guests watched, some shifting uncomfortably, some looking away, and a few stepping forward as if to form a protective circle. Aunt Marie, who'd organized the shower, approached with red-rimmed eyes. Sweetheart, she said to Lily, her voice shaking. Do you want to go somewhere private? Lily nodded, and Aunt Marie gently escorted her outside to the patio. Inside, the room felt hollow. I remained at the gift table, hand closing over the journal, unsure how to follow. Gradually, the guests drifted forward. One by one, they approached me, eyes damp. Thank you for telling her, whispered Jana, Lily's cousin. I tried to talk to her, but she wouldn't listen. I'm sorry, offered Dr. Patel, one of Lily's old college friends. She deserved to know. I nodded mutely. Minutes later, the patio doors swung open. Lily stood bathed in late morning light, Aunt Marie at her side. The guests hushed. Lily held her journal to her chest, then took a deep breath and stepped inside. She approached the gift table, her gaze sweeping the room before resting on me. Silence held sacred space. Then she spoke, voice low but firm. I have to say something. I felt every eye on us, a silent prayer in the collective exhale. She turned to the crowd. If you came today thinking this was a celebration, I'm sorry. It's not anymore. Her voice cracked. She held up the journal. Because if you can't trust the man who's about to be my baby's father, then you can't trust my choices. She set the journal beside the envelope. You all know me. You know I would have done anything for him. We planned this together. But I can't build a life on lies. She took a shaky breath. To those of you who love me, thank you. To the rest, please leave. She gestured toward the front doors. This is my moment of clarity. One by one, guests filed past her. Some sobbing previews of goodbye, others firm nods of loyalty. The playlist stopped. The DJ hovered, uncertain. I stood beside Lily, hands unclenched. Then only 6 remained. Lily's mother, Aunt Marie, Jana, me, and 2 of Lily's college friends. And Lily's obstetrician, Dr. Stevenson, who'd strolled in from a delivery. The serious few who loved Lily enough to stay. Lily took my hand. Jess, thank you, she whispered. I smiled through my own tears. I've got you. Aunt Marie moved to the gift table and began gathering the unopened packages. This shower, it's going to look different now, dears. She squared her shoulders. I think we can do a real celebration. Something for you, Lily. Smaller but genuine. She nodded to her friends. Tea and pastry in the drawing room. Lily wiped her eyes. Yes, let's do it. An hour later, we gathered in the Widow's Walk drawing room, mismatched armchairs, a low-polished table, trays of buttery scones and lemon rose jam. Soft sunlight warmed the blue and white walls. A vase of fresh daisies brightened the mantel. Lily sank into an armchair, journal on her lap. She unwrapped the memoir I'd given her, brushing a hand over the gold leaf title, Becoming Us, A Mother's Aftermath. "You remembered that was my favorite author," she said, voice small. I sat beside her. I paid attention. She glanced at the envelope. "Do you think I should read the texts now?" I took her hand. "Only if you want to. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You're building your life on trust, starting with you. We can wait." She smiled wryly. "When have I ever been patient?" We laughed through tears. I poured tea. She poured a little for me. The quiet was warm. Outside, the distant laughter of departing guests drifted like a memory. Over scones, Lily shared her plan. She'd call David, preferably on speakerphone, so we all could witness and break things off for good. Then she'd re-invite any genuine friends to a proper gathering after the baby was born. She'd lean on family those last weeks, not illusions. I pulled out her journal. "May I?" She handed it to me. I opened to the first page, a childish scrawl of names, dreams, silly doodles. I read a passage she'd written at 10. "Someday, I'll build a family I love more than everything. I'll have a house on Maple Street and a dog named Pudding." I looked up at her. "You wrote that here, in our treehouse summer." She grinned. "We ate mud pies, remember?" I nodded, voice thick. "We built dreams, and nothing can take them away." An hour later, Lily pulled out her phone. "Okay, I'll do it now." She tapped David. My heart raced, but I gave her a gentle nod. The line rang twice, then hello. Lily took a breath. "David, we need to talk." We hovered, silent. I saw her shoulders square. Then Lily's voice, confident, "I know about Karen. The texts, they're done." She paused, gathering strength. "I'm letting you go because you're not the man I thought you were." He sputtered, half apology, half plea. She listened, unmoved. After a minute, she said, "I deserve better. I deserve someone who chooses me." She hung up. The line clicked dead. I stood and hugged her fiercely. "You did it." She sobbed, relief and sorrow, braided. We cried into each other's arms. Aunt Marie bustled in with champagne flutes. To new beginnings, no matter how messy. We clinked glasses, tears spilling like toasts. Jana stepped forward, placing a hand on Lily's belly. "Little one's about to meet the most courageous mama." She grinned. "And the coolest Aunt Jess." We laughed through tears. A new kind of warmth filled the room. The kind that comes from truth, from loyalty, from having your back when everything changes. Later that afternoon, as the sun dipped behind the trees, I packed the gift box, the journal, the memoir, and the shredded texts, now just confetti, to the floor. Lily helped, folding the jacket I'd worn into the box's bottom. "Return to sender?" she asked. I zipped the box closed. "No. We'll wrap it with new dreams." I scavenged pastel tissue paper and wrote on the lid, "To Lily and baby, with love, Jessica." We left it by the door, no bigger than your everyday shower gift, yet holding so much more, a testament to friendship's power, the courage to speak truth, and the promise that new beginnings sometimes arrive on the back of a broken invitation. As Lily waved farewell to Aunt Marie and Jana, she turned to me. "Thank you for the biggest gift." I smiled, hugging her belly. The truth is just the beginning. Hand in hand, sister friends walked away from the empty balloons and silent punch bowl, ready to usher in something real, something honest, something they'd build together, one heartfelt moment at a time.